Welcome to the next installment in my video lecture series in economics. And in this particular video lecture, I'm going to be taking a look at a problem, homework problem from one of the assignments in my managerial economics class at Rutgers University. All right. And in particular, this deals with chapter 4 and it's homework problem number 37. All right. So I believe it's referred to also as text question 5.3. So I wanted to go through this to make sure everybody understands how to solve this problem. This was by far the question that gave students the most difficulty in this particular homework assignment. I believe that the score for the class was below 60% on this particular problem. So I thought it would be important to address this particular problem. So as you can see here in the text, it says, derive and plot Olivia's demand curve for pie if she eats pie only a la mode and does not eat either pie or ice cream alone. Pie and ice cream are complements. Technically, that would be perfect complements to one another. So she only consumes pie and ice cream together. She doesn't consume them separately, so she views them as perfect complements. Olivia's preferences are illustrated by the indifference curves in the figure to the right. Assume the price of ice cream is $2 and income is equal to $24. Using the three-point curved line drawing tool, draw the demand curve for pie in the empty graph below for quantities 4, 6, and 8 and label that curve demand. So you're given the quantities of pie that you need to plot, but you need to figure out what the prices are that relate to that. So the way to do that is you have to realize that where the budget constraint or the budget line intersects the x-axis here, that represents if you're spending all your money on that particular item. So example, for L1, that means that she is spending all of her $24 buying 6 pies. So to determine how many pies that is, you take the income, 24, and divide by 6. That gives you 4. So at a price of pie of $4, she is consuming 4 units. So I can take that point there. So it's 4 and 4. Now I'm doing this on a separate program here, so realize it's not exactly the same as in my econ lab. So I'm going to plot out the points and then I'm going to draw the line in. So at a price of 4, she is buying 4 pies. So I have that point there. Now we do the same thing for L2. At L2, if she spends all her money on pie, she's purchasing 12 units. Since her income is equal to 24, 24 divided by 12 is equal to 2. And at that price of 2, she is consuming 6 pies. So I go down to where the price is equal to 2 and the quantity of pies is equal to 6. And then I do it for the very last budget line. For that budget line, if she spends all of her money on pies, she buys 24 pies and she has an income of 24. So 24 divided by 4 is equal to 1. And this income, this budget line or the budget constraint, if we take a look at what she purchases, she's purchasing 8 pies. So when the price of pies is equal to 1, she is purchasing 8 pies. So I go to a price of 1 and a quantity of 8, and that gives me that particular point. And then I just connect those points together. Again, realizing that in my econ lab, you would be doing that part all at one point. You wouldn't be plotting the individual points in there. You would just be drawing out the line. I decided to do it in this program, and it was easier for me to put the points in and then draw the line in for there. So realize that difference between this application I'm using here, this OmniGraph Sketcher, and my econ lab. You would be just plotting in that line. You wouldn't be plotting in the individual points. You'd be drawing the line with the three-point curve line drawing tool. And the last part was that you needed to label it. So in my Econ Lab, that automatically pops up for you, but I will do it here on my own and change it to that, and I'll just change the spacing a little bit to make it look a little bit better. And that gives you the demand line. So realize what you needed to do on there. You had to realize that you had these three budget lines, and each of them are representing three different prices for pie. And then using that information, you could calculate what the price of pie is given how much she is consuming. And the easiest way to do that is just to assume she's consuming nothing but pie. So for example, when she is consuming 6 units of pie, and the price and her income is equal to 24, 24 divided by 6 is 4. So at a price of 4, she is consuming 4 pies. You do the same thing for L2. That tells you that that price associated with that is equal to $2, because if she buys nothing but pie, she buys 12 units, and she has an income of 24, so 24 divided by 12 is equal to 2. So when the price of pies is equal to 2, she is consuming 6 units. So we have this point right here. And then finally, we look at the budget line or the budget constraint, that's L3. And to determine the price, we look to see that at this budget line, if she spends all her money on pie, she buys 24 units of pie. She has income of 24, so 24 divided by 24 is equal to 1. And on that budget line, she's consuming 8 units. So with a price of pie at 1, she's consuming 8 units. That's the last point there. So hopefully that'll be of help to students who had issue with that particular question. I'm assuming that individuals were having difficulty figuring out what the price of pie was for each of those different budget lines.